Hello and welcome to my desktop, or rather the studio desktop. The video I should be putting out now is in fact the ChinnyVision Summer Q&A, which will be on Ko-Fi only. But one of the questions in that was from Dad Gamer UK about this Commodore situation. And even in the few days since I answered that question, things have changed. Because look, here is the Commodore website. I say Commodore, it is some people who have bought or are attempting to buy the Commodore trademark. Let's get this absolutely clear from the get-go, right? Because there are a lot of people who seem to think it is the original Commodore, the Commodore that went bust in 1994. It was 94, wasn't it? And it's not. It's some people who have... people have owned the trademark ever since 94, and this is a new group of people who are trying to buy the trademark for rather a lot of money. I think it's something like $2 million, possibly, they said. Or it's certainly a lot of money to buy a trademark for a effectively dead brand. They haven't made a computer since 94. People have owned it over the years and have put it on things like, I think they did a mobile phone, didn't they? A load of AliExpress stuff that basically... every attempt so far to revive Commodore has failed. And the retro community are right to be cynical this time. Some members, some people have been kind of over-enthusiastic and take terrible offence if you question this thing. I've been blocked by so many people, even more people than normal on Blue Sky. Commodore Ultras, you know the ones, they have a drawing of themselves in the Zap 64 style and won't accept that any criticism, it's like the playground in the 80s. This is my computer, this is my format. They're not Commodore. They are a group of people who own the Commodore trademark and who are trading as Commodore in 2025, or hope to own the Commodore trademark. So we need to get that bit out of the way. But what are we dealing with here? We are dealing with the trademark in question, which I'm including here for the purposes of comment and review, because I've really got no idea what their position is. I've just come back from holiday today, so I've got no idea about what this website contains. So we've got a Commodore 64 Ultimate, which is I believe it's Gideon's motherboard or mainboard inside there, with the pre-existing Commodore 64 case, the Redmond case you can buy, and they've got another keyboard that I think someone else is making. So I don't think this is new. Right, okay. Honouring the past, innovating the future without the distractions that stole it. What? Right. Commodore has returned from a parallel timeline where tech stayed optimistic, inviting, and human, where it served us, not enslaved us. We're here to bring that feeling back, minus retro, futurism, transport tech, digital detox, real innovation. Has this been translated from Chinese? Our first step is your way out. The glowing translucent Commodore 64 computer isn't an emulator, FPGA based. It's the first real Commodore 64 in over 30 years, back with a few new tricks. I've seen translucent Commodore 64s before, but isn't an emulator dash FPGA based, so it's FPGA, but who wrote this? It's the first real Commodore 64 in over 30 years. Compatible with 10,000 original retro games, or Commodore 64 games, if we're just going to translate this into English. Cartridges and peripherals, so you can plug in cartridge. Well, Gideon's, yeah. You see, this stuff's available. Game reactive colour changing LED case. Wi-Fi game transfer and USB cassette bursting with classic and new games. Okay, you're not giving me anything new here. Transparent keyboard circuit board to let the text speak for itself. But it's an FPGA in there, but not a 6502. I'm sorry, I don't want to be negative here, but I'm just kind of, nothing is jumping out at me so far. Original C64 names, creators, autographs, etched forever onto the main board. That'd be David Pleasance, I imagine. Spiral bound manual, yeah. Glossy classic box, yeah. Nice. Whether you grew up with a Commodore or never heard of one, this is for you. I suspect if you didn't grow up with a Commodore, it probably isn't for you, but okay. A simpler, distraction-free computing experience, a chance to learn how computings really work, a fun, inviting way to introduce kids to basic coding. Poke. Yeah, you'll be using Simon's Basic, won't you? You won't be using Commodore 64 Basic. Terrible. I'm sorry. Oh God, I'm supposed to be reconciling with the C64 community, not alienating more of them, but, you know, you got your basics right. Your Commodore 64 one stinks. Your Sinclair Spectrum one stinks. Amstrad one actually pretty good because they basically ripped off the gold standard of the BBC Micro one. It can do, well, actually, absolutely Locomotive Basic can do some stuff the Beeb can't do. But likewise, there's other bits omitted. But, you know, those two, Locomotive and BBC Basics is so good. It pains me to say that, but it really is. That's your gold standard. If you want to learn basic programming, BBC Basic, ready for part 2. I don't want one. Right, so I've not learnt a lot. We have the Starlight Edition reduced from $399 to $349. How can you reduce a product that's just not out yet? Because these are renders, as far as I can see. I don't think these are real unless I'm... Let's look at the Starlight Edition. It glows. You can see the insides. It's reduced. Buy 2, get 10% off. Or you can use Afterpay. There are 9,576 C64s left on Launchpad Batch 1. Does that mean they need to sell 10,000? How is this being funded? Is this a Kickstarter? We're going to find out, aren't we? You are pre-ordering. Shipping starts October, November 25. The ship date is an estimate. Do I have to click that? I do! I can cancel my pre-order and get a full refund minus any credit card transactions. Yep. Commodore International Corporation may cancel and refund my money at any time. Yeah, fine. I acknowledge and understand the fact at the bottom of this page. Yes. Increased tariffs. Oh, tariffs may be added later. Okay. Right. Is this a Kickstarter? Not quite. Is it a Kickstarter? Yes. Or is it a Kickstarter? No. Is it on the Kickstarter site? Or isn't it? Not quite. It's yes or no. This is an official Commodore registered trademark pre-order with a money-back guarantee. This is an official Commodore pre-order with a money-back guarantee. So I just needed to do that in the right voice. Similar to crowdfunding. If we penny go... and I'm just going to get over to this kind of... Similar to crowdfunding. Is it crowdfunding or not crowdfunding? Just similar. Every penny goes to manufacturing plus the mission to reboot Commodore itself. By skipping Kickstarter, we avoid big platform fees and pass the savings on to you, just like our founder. It's not your founder. It's not you're not Commodore. You are not Commodore. He is not your founder. Oh. He's not... You've bought a trademark. You haven't bought the company. You have bought the trademark. He is not the founder of... Am I charged now or at shipping and at what currency? You're charged now in US dollars. Well, that's good because that's crashing through the floor. Just like on Kickstarter, which we're definitely not. Indiegogo, BackerKit, Crowd Supply and the rest. Your support helps fund production at the factory in advance. Our factory is already making all of the parts that comprise this machine from case. So you've got some investment then if they're already making this stuff. So that's good. You're indicating... You know, you're not doing the Vega thing of just taking the money and then spending it before you've actually sent it to the factory to make stuff. This implies this is a good thing. They are implying strongly here. Production is underway for these machines, so you are literally pre-ordering. So that's good. I told you I was going to be fair. if I think something's ridiculous, I'm going to say it's ridiculous. If I think something's good, I'm going to say it's good. I've dealt all the hardcore Commodore fans are already slagging me off somewhere anyway by now. It helps reboot the full reboot of the Commodore brand. Right, yes, so it's going straight into your order, and clearly you have investment funding, quite significant investment funding, if you're to manufacture that kind of machine. Can I get a refund? Absolutely. No quibble. I've got to do the voice. Cancel any time before shipping with our no quibble money back guarantee. I can't do it. I'm in my studio here. I actually have a picture above me of Paul Darrow as Avon, the king of voiceovers. Quite deliberate, not just because Avon's cool, because I put him in the studio because I his voiceover, not just the kind of Jack FM ones, the adverts and things that he did down the years. I cannot get close to that. Our no quibble money back guarantee. Got to get it right. Guarantee. I'm not Stephen Toast. No account, use our support form, we'll sort it out fast. Right, okay. What about tariffs? Yes, it's 2025. If your country charges tariffs on imports from other countries, you may see a tariff tax at the checkout, so you're not paying what's on there. That covers everything up front, so there's nothing more to pay when your order arrives. That's good. So you're paying a tariff up front. Great. Fantastic. Didn't we have something up top where you had to acknowledge there may be extra tariffs? Right. So they're going to refund you if tariffs go down, but they're going to charge you if tariffs go up. Right. I mean, it's fair, but it's there could be a nasty surprise at the end of this, given the state of the world at the moment. Well, the dollar is crashing, so, you know. Isn't this just an emulate or rebadge something or other? No and no. It's a thoughtfully integrated new hardware based on Commodore 64, from the SID chip, reactive LEDs, even the power lights to the world's first transparent keyboard PCB. Alexa text. Computers want to use it. I don't want it attracting dust. Only from Commodore who... yeah. Will Commodore 64 Ultimate units still ship if the acquisition doesn't complete? Well, and we've got to say this is the acquisition of the trademark. Yes, we have an unequivocal understanding with the previous IP owner to ensure that regardless of the final acquisition outcome, these machines will be delivered as promised. Your pre-orders are 100% safe from production. So is it an IP or a trademark? Because it's not... It isn't Commodore, is it? It really isn't. All those kind of vestiges of Commodore that got dissolved and broken up and sold off. It's basically... They're saying they're bringing back your favourite pet from the 80s, but it's actually a robot wearing your favourite pet's face. Is that it? Am I getting that right? Am I getting that wrong? Let me know in the comments below, because I'm taking this at face value. No joke. This is what it is. I just see it as they're sticking a trademark on something else and then going, yes, we're Commodore. Is there a warranty? Yes, our products include a 1-year limited warranty. You will have more than... for customers in the EU or UK, your purchase also complies with local consumer protection laws. We will not detail this because, like Apple, we probably want you to buy an extended warranty. Oh boy. Commodore Plus warranty for one C64U. Safeguard your legendary Commodore 64 Ultimate with our exclusive extended 3-year warranty, providing protection against damage, loss, theft, or failure. Only from Commodore. Only from Commodore. As the official... It's not a MacBook. And I assume they've got this underwritten, because the way warranties usually work is you go to an insurance company and say, we're selling a warranty, can we have a policy? I assume they've thought all this stuff out. Basically, you buy a policy from an insurance company, and then some of this $49 goes towards a policy for each machine that goes out, and then they, basically, when the machine comes back and then you need to give them the money, you claim that against you. That's how insurance, that's how it usually works, but it may not need to work like that here. How does shipping work? We ship worldwide from Commodore hubs in the USA, UK, and EU. In fact, one of our hubs is the original one we built and used in the 1980s. We built. we built. I'm not easy with this. I mean, I'm having a drink, sorry. You're not, Commodore. I just... just a heads up. Your country may charge extra custom fees when your product lands. Unlike tariffs, these aren't part of the checkout, and like final boss battles, they're yours to handle. So, whatever happens, like when I bought stuff from other countries, you will... Are they saying here that they're making it sound like they've got a hub in the UK based in the old Commodore factory? But if I read this another way, it's just a courier company they're using, or a logistics company who happen to be based in the old Commodore factory. This is so... all of this is so vague and trying to pull in as much as it can from the to give itself authenticity and make itself legitimate. I don't know. It just doesn't sit right with me. Can I email and DM you? We're not planning changes. We don't want to hear from you. Blah, 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 blah. But they will contact you if they use your idea. Okay, so we got the machine hidden inside the autographs names of Commodore 64 creators. We got that far. Want something even rarer and more collectible, inspired by the famous 1 minute gold C64. We've got a gold-plated edition. Oh! What's in the box? Commodore 64 Ultimate Computer, spiral-bound manual, HDMI cable, worldwide power supply, stickers, HDMI. Can you get an HDMI cable? Doesn't say how long it is. Connections. It has 3 USB, a micro SD. Oh, micro SD on a... You just lose them. It's a full-size Commodore 64. Surely you can go for a full-size SD card. You know, you're used to waving your 5-inch around, right? Display output HDMI, that's good. It's got S-Video, Chroma, yes, all RGB. Audio, headphone jack, optional optical SB diff. Networking, 100 meg networking built-in, Wi-Fi built-in. Networking, no social media. What have they got against social media? Cartridge port, dataset port. So it works like a normal C64. Tech spec, 128 meg of memory. DDR2, 1080. I mean, ideally, you'd want 4K these days, but virtually zero lag. I want a number. Oh, it's no good saying virtually zero lag. You need to say what that is. DVI compatible via HDMI. Well, yeah. Analog video out. Yes. Audio. 2 SID sockets. Rocker switch for the power on and off. It's got all the usual formats there. Just bought ST64s. Yes. Mechanical keyboard. Nice switches. 70 RGB LEDs. Industry standard stabilizers and wires. Okay. Right, so that's the clear version, which you won't want unless you want to have your place lit up like a disco. Founders Edition. It's in gold. Although actually, to be unfair, it looks like it's an orange. $499. They're making... I'm going to sell 5,702 more. Who wants a gold Commodore 64? Give me a Commodore 64 that looks like a Commodore 64. All the same stuff, except it's gold. Right, a normal one. Okay, this is what interests me. Proper Commodore badge on there, so it's the real thing, not like the Mini. They've got it the basic model. All the same features. I mean, can you do more stuff with this than just run a... So I've got some kind of browser menu system on there. There's the back. Looking good, looking good. See, why would you want that transparent? I suppose the keyboard's on top of it, but yeah, it did. I mean, this is one of Gideon's. It looks like a newer version. You see, its socket says so. It doesn't come with any SIDs. Put your own in, or emulated SID. I've got emulated SID in a reproduction SID in one of my 64s these days. Very good, very nice. But keep meaning to make a video about it. That looks nice. Well, there's nothing to it, but there wouldn't be anything to it these days, would there? It's a Commodore. It is a Commodore 64, and it isn't a Commodore 64. It's an FPGA recreation, but ultimately, it's how it performs, isn't it? Because once that case is closed up, unless you've gone nuts and ordered the transparent ones, you won't care less what's inside there. If I gave you my bread bin 64, is it my bread bin 64? Yeah, it's my bread bin 64 that has the recreated SID chip in there. You wouldn't know unless you open that thing is really good. You would not know, not even perhaps the very hardcore SID people might realise, but you wouldn't know. So if this case, as it does, looks authentic, is it a render? Is it a photograph? Who knows? No, I like the look of that. If that is actually well manufactured, I like the look of that. $299, a lot of money, but they've got to make that is a render, isn't it? It's spinning around like a. I mean, $299 is not hideous. I mean, does it have the flexibility of the Next? It's hard to tell at this stage, isn't it? Really, menu. What's the menu also saying? Say the team. So yes, you've got people. Always good when you've got the legal counsel person up high there. Right, yes. That's the bloke from YouTube with the AI'd face. I assume that. I mean, there's filters going on there, isn't there? Bill Hurd, their hardware consultant. Oh no! Bonds. Co-brand ambassador and strategic advisor. Oh, it's David Pleasance, strategic advisor. Yeah. Well, get the trestle table ready. He'll be selling his books. Well, his books. He kind of writes half of them, and then from the one I've got, everyone else writes the second half for him. Yeah. God, how much retouching's gone on some of these pictures. Oh, look, it's the guys who went off to Atari. It comes back to that legitimising thing, isn't it? Doesn't it? We got all these people on board, we've given them names in order to legitimise ourselves. And how much input are they having? David Pleasant's case, I hope none at all. Yeah. Wasn't he Commodore? Wasn't Colin Proud at Commodore? You can't click on them. It's a shame. I wanted the one where he sets up he builds his computer. Oh no, that's Brian Butterfield, isn't it? That's Brian Butterfield and the Buttertendo. They're all chroma keyed against exciting AI kind of, or whatever backgrounds. Which pro wrestler does he remind me of? One of the 1980s UK ones. It's just the expression. Marty Jones? No, Marty Jones had funny eyes, didn't he? Yeah, so, I mean, that's just Team Commodore. Yeah. I don't care who's in the team. I just want to know, just give me a Commodore 64 that works and is delivered on time. And FAQ, what's the product strategy? Commodore is built on two clear pathways, retro and modern. We call it retro futurism. Honouring the past, innovating the future. For every nostalgic offering, expect a modern counterpart that fits our mission as the digital detox brand, TM. We've actually TM'd that, probably. We're all taking the first steps to craft the first of these, the world-class hardware partner centred around a clear vision, or clear case. But it starts with the Commodore 64 Ultimate, a faithful hardware revival, along with that we're licensing standout community creations and carefully developing new tech with licensing community creations. Oh, I'm frightened of is these guys just kind of slamming into the community and just kind of throwing their weight around. But we will see. Is it all nostalgia? Nostalgia is only one of our two core pillars, alongside modern innovation like yin and yang, or Commodore and going bust. These forces balance each other in that retro-futurism approach. The commercial power of nostalgia is real. Indeed it is, or you wouldn't be here after us lot just having 30 years of happily using our computers and getting on with things and getting to a stage where this stuff is viable enough for the money men to come in and go, we could make something out of this. Because that's what's happened with the Vega, isn't it? They keep saying isn't it tonight. The Vega was basically commercial people coming in and going, we can make some money out of this. And boy, they did. But we don't know what's going on here. Will Commodore's return hurt small developers or the retro Commodore community? No, we fully support the community, that's kept Commodore alive. We were born from it. Commodore today is founded by key figures within the retro scene who understand its values firsthand. Right, Commodore today is founded. So you are admitting you are a new Commodore. Commodore today is founded by key figures. Founded. Started. Today. Right. It's all about language, and they say one thing, then they say another. So, you are not original Commodore. You are not a continuation. You are founded today. Commodore today is founded by key figures within the retro scene who understand its values firsthand. Fine. Say that up front. We're not here to shut down creators. Good. Would it be nice to have that up front as well? It wouldn't make any sense at all. No, it wouldn't, because we've been... Not me, I'm not a creator. I'm just an idiot on YouTube. But lots of people have been making stuff for the past 30 years, making all this stuff possible, even down to the people who invented the tape formats, the T64s, the D64s, all that, the people who invented those formats for use in emulators back in the mid-90s, just before that. You are standing on their shoulders. Make no mistake, as a famous man once said. Make no mistake. If you have a YouTube... Oh, sorry, we're not going to shut down creations. It won't make sense at all. If you're making compatible products without using official trademarks, you're free to continue. Okay, so I'd want to know what the trademarks are. They're the C equals... fair enough, if they own it, you've got to respect it, but someone else has owned it before. So if you've been using those trademarks before, someone else has owned it, and you could have had your backside handed to you for using it for commercial stuff. If you have a YouTube channel with Commodore in the name, in an obviously harmless way, as a fan, that's cool too. We get it. That's good. That's good. How to get my product endorsed, licensed by Commodore? For those who want to use the official logos or branding, we'll be offering a simple and fair licensing pathway later this year directly through this website. Okay, so does that mean on ChinnyVision I need to modify the little logo when I show a Commodore 64 version? It will include a quality control pipeline and other tools. There's no pressure and no obligation, just an option many have dreamed of. I'd like a bit more clarification there, because again, people might just use, if they're displaying a Commodore video on their YouTube channel, non-monetized, like ChinnyVision one isn't, then, do you write text Commodore 64, or can I just use, I think I use the C equals and then Commodore 64 or something? We need to know that stuff. How much will you charge for an official Commodore license? Past owners charge flat fees or high percentages, often with complicated terms. We're keeping it simple. Just 6.4% of net sales. Full stop. We call it Commodore 6.4. If you sell a product, say Commodore case patch for one, yes, we can do. We went to school and we did maths. That seems quite fair, actually. I need another drink, sorry. If they own the trademark, so if you're selling a T-shirt at the moment with a Commodore logo on it, or a mouse mat with a Commodore logo on it, then you should have already been paying the person who owned the trademark money for that, because it is a trademark. It's a registered trademark. It's not a dead trademark. Sinclair, has Sinclair stuff of Sky renewed those trademarks? Probably not. So, it's, that's good. That is a good thing. That it will be sorted out and simple, and then any pirates, knocking out dodgy stuff, then, fair enough, because they shouldn't be doing that. And that includes all those dodgy sellers on AliExpress where they rip off other people's designs and upload them on their poor quality, and what you get is a cheap Chinese shirt with a JPEG'd logo, all of it. Right. Isn't this just another failed Commodore reboot? Well, it's been done many times. We get it. It's easier to tear things down than to build something meaningful up. No, that's not the answer. And to decide something's failed before it's even started. No, what we want to know is Commodore has been rebooted many times. We had all sorts of crap out there with Commodore, logos on it. So, what's going on here? It's not attacking, it's questioning. This is one of the problems that's been going on last week, that the Commodore 64 Ultras, the proper nutters, really don't like anyone questioning that there could be issues around it, because we've seen it so many times. It's not being negative. This, again, with the Vega, people went off alarming when people started asking questions originally, and everything turned out to be true. With the vegan restaurant in Norwich, you're being negative. Oh, don't stop attacking people from trying. It's like, no, you're opening a vegan bar in Norwich, in a really bad economy, in a road where these places close down all the time, and you've limited yourself to this small section of customer base. And no, you're being negative. Stop being negative. No. And you never open, and it looks lame, and you appear to have completely given up. No, stop being negative. No. And what happened? Well, it was struck off Company's House a couple of days ago. Exactly as... It's not being negative, it's being realistic. It's actually having a bit of common sense, and you look at these things, if something looks too good to be true, it probably is. And I want new things to happen from the right people, and I want to hear the right things up front. So what they're saying here, benefit of being a second attempt. Is it a second attempt? Goodness knows how many attempts it is, given all the spin-offs with SCOM and the Amiga and everything else, because all this, they don't own the Amiga, because it all got split up. We learned from the past, that's good. I mean, you are fans of this platform, I can see that. I know some of the people in that list. You've got David Pleasance there to tell you, so whatever he tells you, you do the exact opposite. And with Elevating Trust Community Love projects, not snapping the logo on random gadgets like a shredder, nobody wants Commodore curling irons. Well, fair enough. Yes, we've seen that kind of crap before. We manage our money extremely carefully with a world-class team, including our Chief Financial Officer, formerly Vice President of Finance at Disney and Fox. Our roadmap is steady, our standards are high, and the people behind this effort are part of the very community kept Commodore's spirit alive for over 30 years. Yes, you are part of that community, but by being part of that community, you have to be judged by the very highest standards. Why are there Commodore channels on social media if you're against social media? It's a fair question. Think of it this way. If you wanted people to stop smoking, you need to start the conversation where smokers are, at the cigar shop. I don't know about you, but I think most people get their cigarettes, I almost said the word that's unacceptable to Americans, but my smoking friends use, at the supermarket. Not at the cigar shop. I used to go to the my kind of second cousin got to key markets, and again, you can't say on here what she used to call the counter, because they used to have a separate booth. I'm going off on topic now. But they used to come in, and there was a whole booth full of cigarettes with some bored person sitting behind there. And she'd always have to say she'd go to the counter. So anyway, clearly that word is not acceptable to Americans. It has a completely different connotation in the UK, apart from some younger people. But again, still got friends who use that term. And yeah, that's not Americanized, because it's never meant to mean the other thing. Anyway, right. Commodore is returning partly as a digital detox brand, but social media is where many of the community gather. Yes. We're here to connect, share updates, and gently offer a different path. One built on creativity, clarity, and calm, optimistic tech. We don't reject the platform. We reject the toxicity. Do you mean you reject people questioning you? Because it's not toxicity, is it? If people are just asking questions. I know some people get carried away. I get carried away. But I'm also realistic. It's great the Spectrum Next came out. I know they had those problems getting the second batches coming out. I couldn't possibly afford something like that, but if I could, I'd have one. But likewise, we have the Vega handheld and all these other things, and books that don't come out, and retro community members, YouTube celebrities, with their hands out asking for stuff the entire time. We are right to be cynical, because if we look at the percentage of these products that fail compared to ones that succeed, I don't know, is it 50-50? Less than that? I don't know. I find Blue Sky generally, much more than Twitter was, to be a positive experience. But you should, a boss of mine said, you should always question. Always question. Ask the questions. It's not being negative. It's using experience to say that you question this. And if these people have got the courage of their convictions, they will answer the questions, not avoid social media. Because if you come back, this is, again, the whole Vega thing still sits, and this may not, because a lot of these people are Americans, so they won't be aware of the Spectrum Vega situation, but the whole management of that and the messages being passed around behind the scenes, nothing being up front, you've just got to come out and just, we're British over here, generally. I mean, the ChinnyVision audience is about 60% British. We're kind of like, we don't get that American glossy BS. It is the Alan Sugar stuff of just saying what you're going to do and do it. We've got this, we're going to do this. I know people hate Alan Sugar, and he was a difficult so-and-so, but actually when it came to what he did, he would just say what he was going to do. He wouldn't announce a product he didn't have. When he showed stuff to the press, he had working actual machines, not like Sinclair, actual working 464s flown in from the Far East, off the production line, straight off the production line, not the prototypes, the proper machines. Although they had prototype external drives, but they weren't anyway. The point is, say what you're going to do and do it. And that's how you build trust. Show real products. Here's a real working machine. You'll be able to buy it on this date, and then you deliver it. Which is what Amstrad. This was the problem with the UK computing industry in the early 80s. People would promise stuff that didn't exist, vaporware. They wouldn't deliver on time. They'd keep taking people's money. Sinclair, the classic example of pre-orders, in inverted commas. So we know this, but if you do what if you're straight all the way through, upfront, honest, cut the BS, you're laughing, really, because people will build that relationship with you. You are using the Commodore trademark and trying to build your brand off of that trust of that failed company, if we're honest. We need a relationship with you. You now. And the setup and what you can do going forward so you can keep building and doing new projects. Other stuff on here, Amiga, obviously not part of it. Status of the Commodore brand acquisition, that's interesting. We've signed a formal share purchase agreement for the purchase of 47 trademarks. So it's trademarks, right? The oldest of which dates back to 1983, as was stated in the Let's Buy Commodore series. I didn't see all of that. The final stage is now close to fruition with strong support from the Founders Edition. We hope to announce the financial completion of the acquisition. So it's depending on the pre-orders of these machines. Is Commodore just another brand cash grab? Let's ask. Commodore has been rebooted. So again, it's not the original company. You are new Commodore. You are new Commodore. From a place of deep love. Deep love. For the brand, for its connection to childhood, for the magic it represented, for the promise of the future it once held and now holds again. Okay, yeah. Every company needs cash to operate, but that doesn't mean it's a cash grab every time. No, indeed. Plus, only carefully selected high-quality products that respect the legacy will earn the right to use our name. That's good. Our mission is thoughtful restoration, not reckless licensing. Yep, we're not here to stick with logos on widgets. You said that. More than this, we're going to create meaningful technology that improves lives. It's a Commodore 64. We're getting back into that BS again, aren't we? Tools that support creativity, learning, and digital well-being. Marketing BS. Watch us be calculating in that. Why is calculating capitalised? That mission will unfold in real time. Ugh. And ultimately will answer this question better than any corporate statement ever could. I know you've just written a load of bump. Is a YouTuber really qualified to lead this? Probably not. But hey-ho. For our CAO, that journey began 8 years ago on a whim, pointing to an old smartphone at a Commodore 64 diode installation he was undertaking to make it a video he loved. The community asked him to continue, and 40 million views later, here we are, Commodore is back. But a YouTuber name was one tiny part of the bigger picture, includes 3 decades of creative work. Well, the community's creative work, again, many of whom had nothing to do with this project. Property development across 4 countries. Property development? We're doing knocking down places and building flats? And a business career man with a factory tooling setups and retail sales of his... So what? Oh, he's a YouTuber, but he's also a property developer, and he began... I don't know. This isn't a media project. It's a structured revival led by someone with a proven history of turning vision into reality. Jack Tramiel himself started Commodore not as a corporate executive, but simply as a hands-on... Don't even try. Do not even try to compare yourself. Oh my God. Why is AI video used in marketing? It's not. Okay. Our partner channel, Retro Recipes, occasionally uses clearly labelled AI in whimsical parody sketches aimed to raise a sale. Whimsical parody Why? What? Yeah. So channels separate from Commodore, yes. As for Commodore, AI might be used where it adds meaningful value. Such as, can you just cut the crap here and just tell us about the machines and what we can do with them? For example, if a national curriculum or education ministry begins requiring AI coding teaching, we may release educational tools that recognise that. Ignoring such... 100% of our creative work is made by actual humans, fine. Even the merchandise design and motherboards and computers, blah, 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 fine. Are you working with Retro Games Limited? Yes, we stay in close contact with the makers of their words, incredible, the C64 Mini, the C64 Maxi, the A500 Mini, and its upcoming big sister. Our dream at Commodore is a single joined-up family of Commodore machines from... Yeah. I wouldn't describe... Yeah, anyway. Truth is, we have been unofficial partners for years in many ways. No, let me reread that. Truth is, we have already been unofficial partners for years in a way. Retro Games Limited gave our president and CEO prototypes to review, and the resulting videos about RGL devices have brought their computers to over 2 million eyeballs. Commodore can't wait to make them can't wait to work with them more officially in the near future. Watch this space for a more formal statement. Oh, goody. Right, we've reached the end of a fact that sapped the will to live out of me. Refer friends, stay updated, support store. Have we been through everything in the store? Is that it? Oh, no. Arcaded joystick. Composite. At least I'm going to say, at least I haven't slapped a logo on a load of old tap, but apparently, oh my goodness. What is this? Nam? Dog tag necklace? Are we going to battle with the Viet Cong, napalming the Spectrum community? We're a genuine part of Commodore's founder close to your heart and help reboot it to start. So they've just said they're not putting the Commodore logo on any old crap, and then we've got a 24-carat gold-plated dog tag necklace. Right, you can even put these in the Commodore 64. Okay, right, putting that as a Commodore 64 on your Commodore 64 case, if that fits an original C64, that would be a nice thing to have. Actually, because you always need case badges, and I hope they could do proper case badges as well in the correct colours. That's fantastic. But a dog tag necklace. You weren't in Commodore, you wouldn't understand. Usual t-shirts that, at least they're going to be officially licensed ones. They've got the Japanese text on beneath them. There was something about that, wasn't there? On there. What? Hang on. What? It's a mouse pad. Right. Whether it's browsing, working, or gaming, these mouse pads are a smooth experience with a custom flair. All your designs are printed on the front side with They've just they've just copy and pasted that off the supply website, haven't they? Yeah, because they're talking about colours. That's what confused me. Avoid using dark colour backgrounds and patterns as to avoid having faded colour around the seams. Oh, that just... I hope when they get going properly, there's more attention to detail than this site. Right. Yeah, so it's a Commodore logo, and they've got some supplier doing it, and they've pasted all the bump from the supplier in there. Fine. Anything, Commodore warranty, we've seen that. Unisex hooded sleeve. $67? Really? Yeah, I think I'd probably go down to Sports Direct and probably get a nicer one than that for less money. But if you've got a Commodore logo on there, yeah, with you. We'll just get someone who can pay the 6.4% tax and do that. But hey, right, yes, Commodore revival. I think we've kind of been through it. I'm positive about the proper Commodore 64. It's not a bad price. Get that hideous thing off my screen, the stupid rotating multicoloured one. Get the normal one up. I'm positive about this machine. You know, $299. Okay. Import tax. Let's pre-order one. See if it tells me what the tariffs are. I have read this. I have signed away my life. I have done all this. Yeah, right. Pre-order. So we're getting... Is that VAT? That's not 20%, is it? No. So that is import. That's not sales tax. That is... Where is it? No, it is 20%, I think. So that is probably the... you might find the courier stings you for handling as well. So you can pay $376. Make it for... Allow $450? By the time you've gone through, $450, what's that at the current exchange rate? I've got my phone near me, but yeah, I would allow a bit more on that, just in case you get stung at this end. But that's not bad, really, for what you're getting. I'd want to know more about what the machine can do, any enhanced capabilities. Is it going to be like the Next, where there's enhanced software? But if you're looking for a Commodore 64 just to sit there and use the daily driver, and you don't want to mess around with the original hardware, yeah. It's going to depend a lot on how it actually feels and handles, but which I'm never going to get a chance to talk about. But in theory, if that machine, that beige box there, comes and, it feels right, plastics feel right, the keyboard feels right, ultimately you plug it into your HDMI TV, it does everything pretty much to 99% of what you need in terms of authenticity, like my SID chip thing, right? I can't tell that really from my other SID chips. So if it does it to that level and it's that good, then fair enough. Personally, I've got my Commodore 64s, I've got enough of them, I've got modern storage for them, all sorts of things. I don't need Wi-Fi or networking for them, although I could buy that if I wanted to. I don't see the need for me personally. Whether they sell enough of these, I don't know. The Spectrum Next sold very well, so they did the second batch. It is very challenging out there in the environment at the moment in terms of importing stuff from China, chips and things like that. It is very hard, and it's changing by the day. There's stuff today about EU imposing or holding off imposing tariffs on the USA. You don't know. It could be $62 today. It could be $620 tomorrow. Who knows where this nutty world is going? But this is a pre-order. And as I said, you have to weigh up in your head how these things pan out. The success ratio, because it's not a Kickstarter, but it is. It's working the same way. It's just not going through that. These guys are big enough and have a big enough product. They don't need to go through a Kickstarter. But you have to ask yourself, you are pre-ordering, but it's not like going on eBay and ordering a computer and they say, oh, it's 10 days out of stock, but you're going to have it in 10 days. That's kind of pre-ordering, isn't it? This is pre-ordering before it goes into production. And you've got to hope and pray these people ring-fence the money, unlike the Vega lot, so that if costs go up or what have you, they have contingencies and they've thought it all out, and it's not just going to slowly get their funds depleted while they're waiting for parts from China or wherever. You've got to think about this stuff. Manufacturing is really, really hard. It's why we know the histories of those early 8-bit computers, and all those lessons still apply today. Yes, the electronics have got simpler. You've got your FPGAs. Look at how much smaller inside that C64 is compared to back in the day. They'll have less returns and all this stuff than, Commodore would have had. Think of the Commodore Plus 4, basically. Was it the Plus 4? One of the Commodore machines, I heard one of the Commodore guys say, they shipped them even that Christmas. They knew they were all faulty and they all came back. That's Commodore. That's the original Commodore. Just get it out the door and then we'll sort out the problems later. You have the legacy of Commodore. Don't cling on too much to the old. Try to legitimise yourself. your product will speak for you. Your product will speak for you and how you do it. You don't need Pleasance and that lot there. If you get a cracking product out, you've got, all that experience, because you can basically kind of go out and build one of these yourself today. You can get an FPGA board. You can get a case. This is a cheaper way of doing it. And this is a bundle, and it's a new board inside and everything, I know. But people have FPGA C64s, right? And these guys are now productizing that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're ordering one, just bear in mind, you might never see a product. I hope you do. I think you will. But there is an element of gamble here. So if you want to buy one, by all means, order one. For God's sake, don't order that clear one unless you want it to look like a disco. And don't order that Donald Trump style solid gold one either. Order the beige one. That's what I'd have. And hopefully it works out well for them. Hopefully everyone gets their computers. And I hope you listened all the way to the end of this video rather than reacting to some of the strange, taking what I say the wrong way when I'm just offering comment on all of this, because I don't want it to fail. No one sits there and go, this should fail. No one wants that, because people are going to lose money. People, if this fails, are going to lose $400 on this. And in this economy, people can't afford that, which is why I hold all of these campaigns to the very highest standards, because times are tough. So, if you can afford one and you can risk it, looks like a good deal. But if you can't and you can't risk it, I might suggest you wait until they've actually got products in shops to sell. I've witted enough. There's probably 3 people listening still. I'm going now. Cheers.